Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Senjo, back again with a brand new video to code your brain. So, you know what they say? Life is easy when you start to code. And if you still feels like your life is difficult, maybe it's time to open your VS Code. Since it is an episode 2, it's obvious that we were gonna do something better than the episode 1, and we're gonna upgrade some things like setting up the user model with roles and JWT authentication register login and the securing the password with bcryptjs and testing all the things if our application is working well. So without any delay, let's start the video. So on the VS Code, and it's absolutely over here since when we left the code in the episode 1, and now it's time to create some folders like it should be like models. We're gonna use the user.model.js and a folder for roots for the authentication roots, roots.js, and one more folder is the controller, that is the controller. So here we need auth.controller dot js. Yeah, absolutely fine. And we're gonna mostly work on these files. So first of all, let's create a model. For that, we have to import the mongoose. Const mongoose equals to require mongoose, and we have to create a schema for our user model. So let's create the user schema equals to mongoose dot schema, where we're gonna say the username should be of type string, and it should be required, obviously required be true, and it should be unique, obviously unique true, and that should be fine enough. After that, we need for password, and password also be type of string. Type of string required be true, and yeah, it should be enough. A missing thing is email, and the email should be also type of string required true, unique also true. So yeah, that should be fine. And after that, we're gonna say for the timestamp, that means it created time and updated whatever will be over updated over here, that the timestamp be also true. Oh, sorry, it should be like true. And let's put the comma over here. The should must be fixed timestamps. Yeah, it's working absolutely fine. And we have to create the model of it. So let's say consider equals to mongoose dot model, and let's the model name be user, and the schema be user schema that we have created above. And simply you have to export the model just like module dot exports equals to user, and that's it. Our entire the schema model for the user is created, and after that we have to do something about roots, and the thing is about the controller. So the basic things on the roots are the common, so let's just import some things. we need express, sorry, not express, export, it should be express equals to require express and const router equals to express dot router, and simply you have to export that router model dot ex, sorry, exports equals to router, and that's it. And whatever we're gonna do in our the authentication system is simply a login and register. So we have to create a route for the register and that stuff. So but before that we need to create a controller so that the function could be called over here, and we're gonna say like exports dot exports dot register user equals to async request slash, sorry, request slash response, and it should go up over here. And similar way exports dot login user equals to async and request and response equals to greater than, and yeah. After making these functions over here in a controller, we can simply call them over here. So let's say router dot post. This should be type of post board, and router dot post. It should be like slash. I think it should be like slash register because the part should be separated for register and login. Then I have to call the function register user, that is from the controller part. It has automatically imported. I haven't done that anything, and the same thing is router.post, and for the part login I say login user. Yeah, it should be fine enough over here, and all the stuff for the routes has been completed. So let me just close the file and let's all work over here. So we need first of all import the user file, user model from the, oh, sorry, so it's making stuff very unclear. Dot slash from the models, and that should be user models. Let me just save that one. And in the register, so for the register section we need three things to for the input from the input field from the user. So we're gonna take in the structure from, let's say, email, username, and password. That will be gonna come from request.body from the user sides, and let's put the try catch block over here. And in the try catch block we're gonna say, first of all we have to encrypt the password that came from the user. In the database we have to store it in a hash form, so we're gonna use the more package dependency our bcryptjs. So let's say bcrypt equals to require bcryptjs, and in order to use that we say const hash password equals to await bcrypt dot hash, and first of all we have to send the plain password, and after that we have to hash it for 10 times, and that should be fine. And after that we have to create a new user in our database, so that will be done like this: await and new user equals to await user, that is the model of the user, and user dot create, and in that create we'll send the things username, email, and password, and password should be like hash password, and that's it. Our new user has been created, and we have to generate a token after the user has been created. So for that we have to create a folder that is utils, and inside that utils we have to create a file called generate token dot js, and uh, let me do the thing. We have to import a package jwt equals to require, that is jsonwebtoken. So it's gonna provide us the token over here, and let's say a function. Let's just do like this: exports dot generate token equals to, it's gonna need id and a role. So first of all, I think I need to do some change over here. So I need a role thing, and here it's type gonna be string, obviously. And down here I need an enum, and each enum should be like user and admin. Let's go for admin, and one is super admin, and by default its value should be user. Yeah, I guess this much should be fine over here for our user model. And in the general token, we need ID and role. And following of that, if we gonna need to return JWT dot sign, and in order to use the JWT, we have to use one more thing, that is the pack. In the env file, we need the JWT secret. JWT secret. So JWT, the secret key be like. Let's go for courier brain for now, and after that JWT is assigned, and we are going to say the pass the values ID and the role with the process dot env dot JWT secret. Yeah, and it should expire in 1 day. Yeah, it should be enough for our generating the token util file. Okay, and after that, in the controller section, after creating a new user, so we simply have to create a new token for that. So we simply say const token equals to, we have to import that call. So generate, where is my, what? Oh yeah, I forgot to export. No, I have exported it. Why isn't coming? It's not coming. Didn't I have sent? Yeah, I have did this export one. Then why it is not coming? Let me check once more time. Yeah, it's now coming over here. So generate token, and it needs the two parameter, that is new user dot id and new user dot role. Obviously, the ID is gonna receive by itself. It's the MongoDB itself gives it an ID, and using that ID, it's gonna generate a token. And the ID is like this, and new user role will be created by default to user, and after that, a token will be generated, and we have to simply response it to the user. So response dot status v200 dot json, and the json is it. Yeah, absolutely fine. And for the catching the error, we're gonna say arrays dot status 500, and the message be like message b um, error while registering the user, and the sorry error message should be error dot message. Yeah, it should be fine over here. And now let's work for the login user. For the login, we're gonna need only the two things, that is username and the password from the user. So let's see, it's gonna receive in a requested body. Sorry, not the boss, it's requested body. And we're gonna create a try as block, and inside that we have to match the username. We have to find the user first. So let's go for const user equals to, oh wait, user dot find one, and find one on the basis of username, obviously. After finding, let's check, we have to confirm if the user exists or not. So if user doesn't exist, we have to simply return and say race dot status 402 or 403 dot json invalid invalid credentials. Yeah, and after that we have to check the password, if the password is correct or not. So we have to say const is match equals to await bcrypt dot compare, and we gonna need the plain password first. And after that, since we have already got the user, and we gonna just use the user dot password. It's in the hash form, so bcrypt automatically gonna compare that plain password and hash password. And if that doesn't match, we have to simply return the same thing, that is res.status equals to valid credentials, and that's it. And after that, we have to create a token, like in the previous way we have done. Token equals to generate token, and we have to send the username and user ID and the role to shall come from user dot ID and and user dot role, and that's it. After that, we have to simply return a response dot status 200 dot json, and it says like there is a token. And for catching the error, just gonna say copy this one and paste over here, and in error by logging the user. Yeah, absolutely fine. Since the root has already also been set up, now I can set up the for in the server file for the user one, setting ops for auth. So we're gonna say const auth root equals to require dot slash, where is the roots, here is the root slash auth root, and below here we're gonna say app dot use. It should be in standard form, so API slash users. Yeah, API, and then let's go for auth, API slash auth, and the part is like that. And The root should be output. And I hope it's gonna work for the our authentication root. So let's run the server and check if that is running or not. For that, we have to run our MongoD in the database on the local host, and let's minimize it and run our server pm start. As you can see over here that our server has been started successfully and it is connected to the database also. Now we're gonna send the request to our server with the help of this Thunder client. So first of all we have to set for post type since they are all the post type. Where are our roots? So since both are the post type and the slash login and slash register. Before that, we have set up slash API slash auth. So let me just copy over here and let me paste over here. And from the root one, I need the slash register. Let me just copy this one and paste over here. Okay, and in the body one, we need the things username. Oops. It should be colon and the semicolon. And here should be email. And finally is password. Yeah, let's say username be code your brain and email be code@gmail.com and the password be code123. If I send the request, it shows log light status 200 OK and gives us a token. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yeah, it means our the auth controller is working very well. And for the case of login, we have to remove the email one. So let me just remove this one and let's do like login, then send a request, then it's also giving the token, and that means it's working absolutely fine. And that's it for our video. If you find this video helpful or useful, make sure to drop a comment. And until the next time, keep learning, keep building, and always remember code your brain. Thanks for watching. Peace out.